I love the new hair and the lashes. Look at you.
You, darling. It's
Yes,
grown in a
yes.
minute. It's called slapping it on.
That's all right. You looking cute. See, I'm rocking my natural this morning. Like I didn't have time to go get it blown out. So we just gonna roll with what we got.
I know that's right. It's so good to see you. How have you been?
Oh my gosh, I've been well. How about you?
I've been well. I have literally no complaints. Um, the beautiful thing about life in general is it hits us with a lot of challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of crying about those challenges, it's all about how we handle them, how we navigate, how we
Yes.
and I can't stand this word. I love it. I just don't like the way it's being misused. How we pivot through the process. And just to
Yes.
clarify, the reason why I don't like the word and the way it's being used since the pandemic is mainly because I feel as though it's being misused. It's
Mm-hmm.
being used for purposes that are more harmful to people in their business goals than anything. When you pivot to ultimately still reach the same goal. It's just like basketball. He turns around, he fakes it this way, and he goes that way instead. He turns around, swirls, and he still makes that same dunk in the
Right.
same basket that he wanted to do. But when people are pivoting into something that is not their forte, expertise,
Mm-hmm.
to me, that's not pivoting. You just
Right. It's something
completely did
starting
a
something
shift.
new.
Exactly. You did a complete shift in your
Mm-hmm.
career. You did a complete shift in your expertise. So that's why I try not to use it too much because it's a word that's being overused.
Yes, 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 yes. You are right about that.
So tell me what's going on. We're going to be talking about you. You are the star for this week.
All right,
And we
all
want
right.
to know everything. I know what you do, but everybody
Okay.
else don't know.
Oh,
So
good. Okay.
share with everybody what's so fabulous about Pam. And I want to start from the beginning, actually, because
Okay.
Pam, I think people need to know your background and where
Okay.
you've come from and why you are now where you're at today with your business. And I'm going to let them learn all of that, directly from you.
Okay. Well, I am Pamela, aka Pamela with three A's, as people say, right? I am
Triple
the
A.
I am the daughter of a military veteran. My dad did like 28 years in the Air Force. Both of my brothers are academy grads from USAFA. Then I, of course, married military. So my husband, AKA, as I refer to him, my heartbeat, did
Oh,
30
I love it.
in the Air Force. And he retired as a chief, which is the highest enlisted rank. So, I mean, the percentage that even make it to that rank is small.
Yeah.
So then when you throw in the number
Especially as a
of
black man.
African Americans
That's
that
right.
make it to that rank, it gets really, really small.
Even
But he
smaller.
accomplished that.
Wow.
Um, I went to North Carolina State University in Raleigh. That's where my degree is from in business. And upon graduation, my whole professional career, I've only worked for three companies in my professional career. And
Uh-huh.
it's always been on the credit card banking side of the house. So I have literally in my 25 plus years of corporate worked every aspect of credit. So from the underwriting to the servicing to the collecting of said
Mhm.
credit cards, private label, as well as bank card. Um, while I was in my last corporate job, which was on the banking side, I was at that bank for 15 years. During that time, I actually started my first company, Bonafide Credit Consultants LLC. I started that while I was still full-time at the bank as vice president, collections, recovery, fraud, and probate. So as you can see, I had just a little window of time. So I was literally burning the candle at both ends, but could not say no. It's kind of, when he taps you on the shoulder and says, hey, you're like, okay, because I fought it for a while. People would say, oh my gosh, you need to do this for a business, because I was helping people. People would come to me because, of course, they know I understood credit cards, credit reports, credit scoring, all of that back end stuff. And so people would come to me asking for assistance on their personal credit stuff. And I would help. And they're like, oh my gosh, like, you need to do this for a business. So many people need what you do, but more importantly, how you do it, right? Because there's a lot of people that do what I do, but it's always about how you do it. And just like ice cream has many flavors,
right,
you can have doing the same thing, but it's all very different because you have your own little secret sauce or your methodology in doing it. But even with that, I kind of just, okay, I hear you, but didn't move on it. Then I was late 2007. My husband retired in 2007, and late 2007, early 2008, when I tell you, everywhere I turned, that same message kept coming. Like, my pastor preached a whole series on walking in your purpose, right?
Did he need your help?
And our grandkids are in Texas, and so we go to visit, and we go to the church there, and lo and behold, every church we go visit, like, they're talking preaching about your purpose and doing what you've been tapped to do, and using your gifts and all of that. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then you meet people, strangers, and people that and everybody keeps saying that same message. And so finally April of 2008, I threw up the white and said, yes, God, I acquiesce. I will. And Bonafide was birthed out of that, and I don't know we have time to really talk about all of the naming of the business, but that is a story, the whole Bonafide, and Bonafide is spelled B-O-N-A, the number 5D. Though it's pronounced Bonafide. So stay tuned, because my second book that I'm writing, I published my first book in 2016, working on 2 books currently, and one of those books will entail the whole story, the journey of the naming of the company, why it's Bonafide, right? And what it subsequently came to mean. It's like when we named it, when I came up with it, it meant one thing. But then as I journeyed and he started revealing things, right? I thought it was just a name, but it's so much. And his clarity around that has been amazing. And so 2008, Bonafide Credit Consultants was birthed. And since that time, I have helped hundreds and hundreds of people accomplish their financial goals, whether it's to become financially free, whether it's just to improve their credit score, whether it's to prepare them for that major purchase of a home, whether it is simply just, I want to be stress-free. And financial freedom allows that release of stress, help them on that journey to accomplish those goals. And it's really important, why I keep stressing their goals, because you can't say, oh, you need to be financially free, right? And this is how you're going to do it, because you can say that, but until the person, like so many other things in life, until they have decided that's the path, then it is counterproductive.
That's right.
And so when I am,
and you know what, Pam, I just have to say this. We go through financial stresses, or some of those that do, in your personal life. And so does business owners too.
Yes.
But it's a double dose when it's both. You're a business owner and you're having the challenges of finances for your business, and it's impacting your personal life. That's a pressure that is very uncomfortable.
Absolutely. And the reality is, when you are birthing this business, right, whatever the business is or what have you, if you need capital, If you're seeking investors of any fashion,
That's right.
your personal credit is
Has
the
an impact.
deciding factor. And
That's
so,
right.
some of the clients that I work with now, entrepreneurship is something that's in their purview, something that they want to accomplish or what have you. And it's not to say if your personal credit is not where it needs to be that, oh my gosh, I'll never be a business owner. I'll never be able to
Right.
do and live my dream and all. Not true. Just like
No,
on the personal side as well as the business side, all that simply means is you got to put in some work, right?
that's right.
And so when I'm working with clients, that's the first conversation because and I've had to turn away some clients because I've determined in that initial consult that they're really not quite ready, because what it is,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so excited, I want to get out of debt, they're talking really fast, I want these things.
Yeah.
And I tell them, you got to pause because you got to be ready, willing, and able to put
That's
in the
right.
work. As I say in
Yeah.
one of the pithies of my book, success only comes before work in the dictionary,
That's
right?
right.
You got to put in some work if success is the end game.
I have
And
to I have to say to you, I applaud you for that because I applaud you for the fact that you turn away the business,
mhm,
because I have been told from day one, what's wrong with you? You're turning down business left and right, especially my first year in business,
mhm,
because number one, you're looking for that ideal client, and
right,
that ideal client will not waste your time.
mhm,
But two, nowadays I turn people away because they're not ready. Just like your clients are not ready
mhm,
for the work that they have to put into to help them for their business goals and needs. It's the same thing for our services.
mhm,
If our clients are not in the right mindset to do
yes,
the work that they're paying us to do, and expecting the results, then I have to turn them away, because if I force them, it's
mhm,
difficult to force people to see what they need to see.
right,
It's difficult to force people to understand what you feel as though they need to understand. So the best thing to do is to walk away and leave them to themselves until they come to realize, I need to stop procrastinating. I
mhm,
need to do the work. I need to meet the timelines. I need to let go, and I need to trust. All of these things, people,
yes,
is what will hold you back from success. It's you getting in your own way.
mhm,
It's not that you're not able to do it. It's
right.
not that you're not capable of doing it. It's that you're not ready.
Exactly. And to your point, it is the same, even though it's different businesses and
Yeah,
different reasoning per se behind turning down a client.
yeah,
But as a business owner, that is a conscious strategic decision,
right.
right? From my perspective, the name bona fide, and that is the
Yeah,
honesty, the integrity, all of that reputational cost for
yeah,
me to take on such a client who's not ready.
that's
There's a
right.
reputational cost for me because
It is.
I'm, without a doubt, if I'm not my biggest cheerleader, who else will be? When I come up
Exactly.
with a plan for you to
Yeah,
accomplish goals that you said, not goals that I dictated to you, not goals that
yes.
I told you,
You didn't
but
pull
goals
those out of the
you
sky
said
for them.
you
They
said you wanted
said
to
it.
accomplish. I'm going to
That's
come up with a plan, right?
that's
But I
right.
tell my clients in that first initial conversation, the output of this arrangement is going to be a action plan, right? Two
That's
words.
right.
And we are in this partnership together, this collaboration.
That's
And
right.
in that two-word output that's going to come, I'm the plan, you're the action, right?
That's
And
right.
so my plan is going to be on point. I can
Mhm.
guarantee you that, right? But if you don't apply your action to my plan, then my plan is merely just words on a piece of paper and have zero value. But what I can't have you do is go tell all your friends and family and relatives about how you work with Bonafide and you're still in the same
Social
place, because you're going to leave
media.
out that little tidbit about
That's right.
I didn't put in the work. Like you're going to
That's
leave out the
right.
part that I didn't do the action. I didn't do the things she told me to do,
That's
right?
right.
They're just going to say, oh yeah, it didn't work. No, no, no. So see,
And now, but Pam, nowadays it's social
Mhm.
media because everybody's virtual at this point
Yes,
until we can figure out what's going on with this pandemic and this virus. You know, it's even more damaging that it goes further than their friends and their family. You
exactly,
know, it's social
exactly.
media, it's their colleagues, it's on LinkedIn and stuff. And I have done the same and still to this day do the same thing. I would rather terminate the
Hmm.
agreement with you than for you to jeopardize your credit, your brand
Hmm.
and my company's reputation.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And people
Because
get their feelings hurt because people can't handle rejection.
yes. And and I've had people that I've turned away who subsequently came back around, right?
Good for
And
you.
they are grateful,
Yeah,
appreciative. Because the reality is, if you're coming to me because you're trying to get your finances in order, get
that's
out of debt,
right.
or what have you, if you pay my fee, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I get paid up front. So it's like you're prepaying, but
That's
then you
right.
don't do this. That behavior is what got you where you are,
That's right.
mismanaging your funds, right? Because your funds may be limited, right? And so if you pay me and then don't do the work,
Yep.
right, then that's wasted money. That money you paid me could have been money that you put towards your debt, right?
That's right.
Or what have you. And I would have rather you've done that than to pay me and not follow through or what have
And,
you. So like I've had
and
them come
waste
back
your
and say, oh,
time.
I'm so grateful,
Yeah.
that you caused me to pause and think it through. And now that it's months in the future, now I'm
Yeah.
really ready. I saw exactly what you were saying, and I'm
That's
ready
right.
to do the work. And it is wonderful. It works out. They accomplish their goals. It's a
Right.
win-win, everything. But that delay, because delay does not mean denial, right? In that time, you're thinking things through. You're you know, thinking and wondering and pursuing and investigating and doing your due diligence, all those kind of things during that moment of pause
Right.
for a better outcome, right? So delay doesn't mean denial.
That's right.
Mhm.
I agree 100%. And, you know, not only are you ultimately doing them a favor, you're doing yourself a favor because the time that's being spent,
Mhm.
wasted on someone who's just not ready
Right.
could be utilized for someone who is ready.
Yes.
And we can only, when you're a small business owner, you can only do but so much. At least that's the mindset you should have. You
Right.
know, even if you are a mid-sized company or a large-sized company, don't take on more projects and more clients than your bandwidth can handle,
Exactly.
which is your resources, your human resources.
Mhm.
And when you are taking on all these clients, you need to fully commit to them. So
Mhm.
when a client is wasting your time because they can't commit, fully commit.
Right.
They somewhat committed by starting the process with you, but if they're not doing the work, then they're not fully committed. And when
Absolutely.
they're not fully committed, they're wasting your time and blocking you from having the bandwidth to take on someone who really is ready
Mhm.
to help,
Absolutely.
to be helped.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
and money is not the driver. I've
No, it's
heard it
not.
said, and it is my mindset as well,
Mhm.
that I chase my purpose and not the profit, right?
That's right.
I always say if I continue to walk in my purpose, the money will come. And I
That's
wholeheartedly
yes.
believe that. And
That's right.
bona fide for a reason. Me taking on that client and taking your money, knowing full well upfront that you're not going to follow through, then that makes it
Right.
tough for me to look in the mirror the next morning and say, you did a good thing, right? And so
Absolutely.
that I cannot have, because what how I always say it is I can't allow anyone or anything to
Hmm.
get in the way of me getting my check mark. And what I mean by that is when that day comes, I'm gonna
Right.
need you to go and open up them pearly gates and let a sister in, right?
That's right.
And so
Don't
I
need to
don't
ring
want it
no
to be
doorbell. Ding dong. What about me?
right. I can't, I don't want that little bit of money that I would have made on that client. If
That's
that's
right.
going to have or prohibit me from getting that marker, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
When you're an entrepreneur, and I said this even because a lot of my clients, just like yours, are entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
You don't go into business for the money.
Mm-hmm.
You go into business with to provide a solution to a certain niche market,
Right.
and to help others out. And like you said, the money comes later.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, what is your vision and your plans for your company for this year? Because this is pretty much wrapping it up, but we'll be able to take a deeper dive in all the other things that you do that are fantastic with your business and the written portion. So I want to wrap up by asking, what do you want to see happen for your company and your clients in 2021?
Well, we didn't talk much about my newest endeavor, which is the B5 Reaffirm division of my company. And I'm putting a lot of focus there, though the businesses kind of intertwine, because if you're not mentally in a good headspace, you make bad financial decisions. But the B5 reaffirmation boxes have been gangbusters 2021. It is my goal to get these boxes and this program that's associated with the boxes in the hand of as many brown females as possible that are struggling with, have struggled with, know someone who is struggling with low self-esteem. These boxes have, like my others, I'm always driven for impact, but these boxes have literally saved some lives. And for that, I am forever grateful for my acceptance of this assignment from the big guy, as I call it. And so I'm really focusing on that. And it is my goal to get people fiscally, meaning their money, and physically, meaning their body, their mind, their soul,
Their
healed
confidence.
in a good place so that they can apply the tools that we offer to become better versions of themselves. And so just to be a small part of that in people's lives is my driver, is my passion.
Awesome.
As I follow and walk in my purpose.
That's awesome. So I just want to provide clarity, a little bit clarity. Your boxes it's a workshop in a box, correct? Can you elaborate what it is that
it is a
when you
tool
mean
more
box?
so than a workshop, because you can't implement it individually, right? It's better when we do it in a group setting, but you can order the box right now at the website as an individual. You'll get the box and you can order, add the workbook or download the workbook, either way, and implement it yourself into your life. Or if your organization or an entity, we can, reach out to me, because I prefer you to do, we have discount pricing for bulk purchases. So I'll invoice you as opposed to you purchasing them online via the website. And I can then, come in if you desire to engage me to do that, to implement the boxes. But certainly it's something that you could do on your own. So it's not really a workshop, but kind of more so a tool.
Okay.
As self-esteem.
That's awesome. Pam, thanks so much. You know what? I think it would be nice to have you come back and chat a little bit more, and we'll take even a deeper dive through a video form of your business today and everything, because we kind of build up from your past up to the first business, but I want people to learn about everything else that it is that you offer and do.
Awesome. Thank you. I would be delighted to come back.
Don't go anywhere. Stick around, okay?
All right.
Bye.